Hi everyone and welcome back to Evocative Scents. Last week I had covered a fantastic fragrance, and if you haven't checked that video out, I will put that in the top I button. It's very hot out here and that too with a lot of humidity. And I know that this is not the right weather to talk about these two fragrances, but hey, let's cover something slightly different. And trust me, in my next videos, I will be covering a lot more warm weather fragrances, and this one is just an exception. So today's fragrances, first one being the Rayhaan Wolf, a relatively new fragrance from Rayhaan, and the second one is also quite a new entry. It is the Maison Asrar Vanilla Aura. So without any further delay, let's get this video started. Rolling like always, let's begin with the presentation and packaging. First up, the Rayhaan Wolf. If you have tried the Rayhaan Lion or Tiger, the packaging is going to be extremely similar. Of course, there will be a wolf on the front. At the bottom half of the packaging, you will find the batch code, expiry date, and some not so unusual stuffs. Rest of the box is pretty simple. It's a simple paper box with just Rayhaan branding on top and back. And yes, it comes in a regular 100 ml. There is not much to talk about it, so I will be moving through fairly quickly here. Now the bottle design is very similar to the other Rayhaan fragrances, but the wolf on the front had some nice detailing around it. I mean, it's very interesting. Whether you like it or not, that totally depends on you. Down here, just the batch code, nothing else, no concentration or nothing like that. I believe this is eau de parfum concentration, and both sides of the bottle carry the same Rayhaan branding. It does help you to grip the bottle, and at the back some calligraphy like design. This is the usual Rayhaan presentation. But wait, the most interesting part of the bottle, it is the magnetic cap. It is very sturdy and does latch into the bottle pretty strongly. Although I will not recommend, you can pick up the bottle with the help of the cap if you are a bit careful here. Now let's move on to the next fragrance, the Maison Asrar Vanilla Aura. This one comes in a cream colored box with Vanilla Aura written all over it. Now this one definitely comes in eau de parfum concentration, as you can see right in the front. Once again, at bottom of the box you will find the packaging date, expiry date, and of course the batch number as well. Now moving on to the back of the paper box, there is a hologram for the authenticity of the product and some more details including the ingredients of this perfume. You can easily assume from the paper box that this fragrance definitely comes in a tall bottle design, and you are absolutely right about it. And unlike the Rayhaan Wolf, you can easily see the juice level here. The bottle of course comes in a frosted finish and an amber orange colored juice. Interestingly, the edges of this bottle has a very soft finish and they are curved ever so perfectly that they just fit right into the hands. And since the bottle has a tall design, you have to be a bit more careful than a square bottle. It has a glossy golden colored cap, and once again an interesting design choice here. Now let's check the atomizer before we move on to the smell section. This one has a regular atomizer, not a pressurized one, but throws a good amount of juice and has a wide mist. Now moving on to the Wolf. The Wolf has a pressurized atomizer, but definitely not in the top tier. I have definitely seen better ones. Nonetheless, they will both get the job done. So in terms of presentation and packaging, the Wolf gets a 9 and the Vanilla Aura a solid 8.5 out of 10. Finally, let's move on to the smell section here. Starting with the Rayhaan Wolf, it is going to smell very familiar if you have come across the Azzaro Most Wanted EDP Intense or the Parfum. But interestingly, it is not one-to-one similar to those fragrances. I would say it is more of a hybrid of those two fragrances. If you are getting into Wolf, it's how do they exactly smell like? Sweet fragrances. But for any reason, if you hate sweet fragrances, just stay away from these. And here I would also include the Vanilla Aura. Now coming back to the Wolf, it begins with a very sweet toffee smell, along with a very green aromatic undertone, almost like the cardamom seeds. Just a small reminder, it's not like the cardamom which you will find in the YSL La Nuit or similar kind of fragrances. It's certainly on the green and aromatic side. In Azzaro Most Wanted EDP Intense, the cardamom is not as prominent when compared to the Rayhaan Wolf. I would say the Azzaro Most Wanted EDP Intense falls on the youthful side of things, but if you want your sweet fragrances to be on the slightly mature side, this is where the Wolf and the Most Wanted Parfum will come into the picture. Now coming back to the Wolf, it's not exactly a groundbreaking fragrance by any means, and if you have tried the Stronger With You lineup, then it will be really hard to ignore the common characteristics between them. Some major differences would be the nuttiness, and of course the aromatic lavender. The Wolf on the other hand has a very light green, aromatic, spicy cardamom note, but it is still a gourmand fragrance at the heart. In the dry down, it has got a little bit of ambery touch, but I am not getting a lot of woodiness out of this one. As the time passes by, the scent profile takes a dry undertone, very reminiscent of the Most Wanted Parfum. The caramel toffee smell I spoke in the beginning still lingers on for quite a while. It doesn't completely fade away, and to some extent it still holds its place. As I said earlier, it's a hybrid of these two fragrances, not exactly one-to-one similar to any of these. While the brands may try to market them as a men's fragrance, trust me, it's not. This one is a perfectly unisex fragrance. It is sweet, it is very lightly aromatic, spicy, but that caramel toffee smell is very addictive. In terms of versatility, I would not say it is a very versatile fragrance. Absolutely not a scent for the formal events, but this cologne can be enjoyed by any gender. Just keeping in mind this scent profile is more suitable for cold weather and more towards that evening and night time. It can be an excellent option as a date fragrance, especially if you are a stickler of sweet fragrances like me. Now coming to the performance, this one certainly holds its own. I am able to extract moderate projection for the first couple of hours, and it leaves a nice scent trail behind you. On the apparels, it will stick around for 6 to 8 hours easily, and maybe a touch more as well. Now moving on to the next fragrance, the Maison Asrar Vanilla Aura. The scent profile of this one isn't as straightforward or simple like the Rayhaan Wolf, and it is certainly a bit complex to be honest. Interestingly, the Vanilla Aura starts with a green, clean and a very sharp smell. It has got little bit of alcohol blast in the opening, but don't worry, it will settle down pretty fast. Like most other things in the world, the thing with fragrances is that if they smell effortless and very simple, then a lot of effort goes in the background. Feels kind of irony, but it is mostly true. I feel that this perfume is trying a bit too hard. In the opening, it's either the freezer or the lily of the valley. There is something in here that doesn't feel very cohesive with the rest of the elements in here, and this is especially true for the first half an hour. After the initial mess up, I would say the dry down is pretty good. You can certainly feel the chocolatey sweetness, lots of vanilla and little bit of powderiness from the tonka beans, but with a clean backbone. It's not that I dislike white florals, but with this one, it feels a bit weird in the opening. In the opening, there is that green and white floral smell which is combining with that sweet vanilla and also a little bit of sandalwood, and it doesn't quite sit right with me. But after that first half an hour, it's a much better fragrance. Now interestingly, this fragrance is touted as a one-to-one similar fragrance to that of Guerlain Vanille Planifolia. Honestly, I haven't tried that fragrance, but I did check its notes breakdown. Now I know that a perfume's notes breakdown isn't end all and be all, but I seriously doubt such a strong white floral smell. It makes no sense to skip that one, especially if there is any. But after that initial phase, that sharpness fades away and that white floral becomes very soft. I would not say it disappears completely, but it does blend in nicely. If possible, give this fragrance a try, since I am not really fond of freezer or the lily of the valley, so I might be a little bit biased here. In my humble opinion, the opening leans towards the feminine side, but after that 30 to 45 minutes, it can be completely unisex. As I had said earlier, both of these are vanilla and sweet fragrances, so these two aren't particularly good choice for office or formal events, and this too is suitable for cold weather. Now in terms of performance, the Vanilla Aura is really strong. It has really strong projection for the first 1.5 hours, and I can attribute that to strong white florals in the opening. Without a shadow of doubt, it's just too strong in the opening. The dry down on the other hand is very subtle. It has subtle powdery nature and a soft vanillic smell. Almost sort of a gourmand fragrance, but that light white floral smell still lingers on. Once I get past the opening, the dry down is much better. So if you're thinking of getting this fragrance, just keep in mind the strong white florals and a slightly synthetic smell, and definitely not a great opening. After that, it will move towards that chocolatey and vanillic territory. Did I talk about the performance? Because this one is definitely strong in that. It lasts easily over 8 hours on clothes, and the strong projection for the first 1.5 to 2 hours. Now if you have tried any of these two fragrances, what are your thoughts on these? Did you like them or did you find it meh? By the way, if you found this video useful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. And I will gladly see you next time. Till then, stay safe and as always, stay honest.